Oh, hi, it's me, Genuine. Previously on the rolls we made. Wren, Hemlock, and Salt found themselves in a multi-strand battle that some of them weren't even aware they were stuck in. Salt was transported to the past of Springwillow, where she had to do battle with a giant battle tank, assisted by a woman in a frog suit. That woman turned out to be Wren's mother, and Wren was able to hear the story from her perspective as she told it in her office. All the while, Hemlock was trapped as he watched the afterimage of Doan approach and seemed to have a conversation with him. Is he a ghost? An image of the past? A plot convenience so Hemlock will think to take a step into the bubble? Turns out it was the third one, because Hemlock found himself inside of this strange past world, and he saw a woman who looked strikingly like Salt be rude to him and then go and try to attack Wren's mom. Wren's mom was able to get the upper hand, and Salt was able to tell this mysterious paladin that she was in fact her daughter. I know, big stretch. Salt was traveling with the Springwillow militia, and Hemlock came face to face with a figure from his past. Viol the spirit caster, the Genasi animatronic that granted him his power. What does this all mean? Genuine asked to the dungeon master. Maybe we'll figure it out today on the rolls we made.
Hemlock, you were on the roof of the building a few blocks away from where the battle took place. Viol kind of dressed you down. He said he needed to go speak to the person in charge of this whole offensive. I forget the exact title I gave that person. I want to say general.
I didn't really get in trouble much for the battle.
Well, he grabbed you and he was like, "What the fuck?
like,
What did you do?" And then he left.
I don't know. I'm new.
Did you?
You were on the roof of the this building. There are some consoles set up. The crew up there is breaking down the consoles, breaking down other stuff, and like starting to take them down the building, I guess, to probably take them away. There are a few officers up here. There's also that one officer who looks exactly like Halifax, who you had a weird interaction with.
Makes it sound like they were awkwardly making out.
What?
The way you described it made it sound like those two were just awkwardly making out.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, if that
They had a weird interaction during the battle.
I mean, a weird interaction would be like if they tried to make out and she was like, "No."
Yeah, just a passionate kiss in the middle.
I don't appreciate y'all's lack of imagination.
I was seeing it.
Danielle's idea of imagination is like, yeah, they're fucking.
Well, you see, the thing is, Danielle, is every character is me, so I'm not comfortable with that.
I'm extra comfortable with you making out with yourself awkwardly.
But it was Jeff.
I don't want to make out with him.
It's really
Anyway,
Dang it.
I thought we'd get
Bummer,
there.
dude.
I thought we would finally get
bummer.
We've been trying for months.
trying to wear you guys down.
What do you want to do?
My character knows jack shit about what's happening right now.
Okay.
Aside from like,
Then you can make a roll to get more information.
yeah, I want to make a roll to get more information because
So
like,
let's-
aside from talking to Halifax and like getting like,
Let's
what's going
do
on with the
a
battle.
perception check. Hold 1 from read a situation.
How can I take the advantage?
You have, as you're watching people break stuff down, they haven't quite noticed that you're just kind of standing around not knowing what to do. But you do feel the T-ray glasses like jiggling in your pack.
I'll put them bad boys on.
When you put these bad boys on, you are somewhat like accosted by how bright it is in this space.
That's the opposite of what these glasses should do.
I know that they shouldn't be doing that. Everything is glowing like green, like bright green. All the people you're seeing. In fact, the only thing up here that isn't like a strange greenish color is you and the figure who is Halifax.
Oh, okay.
She, for some reason, is not glowing bright green. She is glowing in some way, but it's not like those glasses can only pick up green and everything else is kind of grayscale. So you can't tell, like, she's emanating some kind of light, but it's not green.
So she's like under the spell of this place, it seems like.
I don't know.
Okay. I'd kind of want to like see if I could pull her aside. What's her position? Her sergeant grade or her lieutenant grade?
It's just like an officer.
Officer. Did she tell me her name?
No.
Okay. Officer, I'd like to motion over her and kind of have us go over and have an aside away from the group.
That'll be a stealth check to make sure you're not noticed while you do that.
It's a 3.
You manage to get her attention, but some of the officers are starting to notice that you're like not doing anything.
I'm like pretending to pick up boxes. I'm like picking.
Yeah, you're not. No, you're not pretending. You're just not picking up boxes and trying to seem like you are. And they're like, "What the?" They're kind of looking at you side-eyed, but they haven't done anything yet. The Halifax figure walks up to you and goes, "What the hell are you doing?"
What's your name, soldier?
Carolyn.
Okay, Carolyn. Carolyn, does the name Halifax sound familiar to you at all?
No.
Okay, Carolyn. That's great. How long have you been with this regiment, Carolyn?
You fucking know. What are you doing? Put shit away.
Whoa, okay. Who's in charge here?
Neither. No. Neither of us.
All right, I'm like, all right, I just wanted to have...
This was your fucking plan. Put shit away so we can get out of here. And then she walks away.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start putting shit away.
Okay.
She was mean to me. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Like that either.
Yeah, and also when she's mean to me, I feel like Joe's being mean to me, which
No.
I also don't like.
No.
I feel like it is something wrong
Jeff
in real
just
life.
keeps looking at the floor.
I know.
He's very scared.
I'm in
right
trouble.
now. That's what happens to me.
Halifax just told you, like, not Halifax, Carolyn.
Carolyn.
Oh, sorry, I meant Caitlin.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna help.
I meant to reverse that. It's Caitlin. I
Well, now I
misread
can't
it.
even answer the question.
Retcon, her name was Caitlin. The Halifax character's name is Caitlin. I have a note that I didn't read.
That Kim's cousin? Is that who it is?
No. Her name
Caitlin, yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
Shit, I haven't seen her in a grip. Does anyone recognize the name?
Nope.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Ask Twitter.
I will ask Twitter. Well, they would have gotten on me at this point for like, wait a minute, hold on. I'm gonna have to put a note in like the next episode. Like I meant to do this correctly and I failed. Okay, so yeah, Caitlin, not Carolyn, Caitlin.
Well, that changes everything.
It does actually.
I gotta go home.
She's giving you the very specific command. Hey, put shit away. This was your plan. And then she goes back to putting stuff away.
Okay. I'm going to put stuff away to get any like suspicion off of me.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so with using context clues of where people are putting stuff, you start putting shit away.
I'm like,
Salt, you were traveling in the back of a truck that's
Right.
moving down the street towards the center of what you think is Spring Willow. It's kind of hard to tell because so many of the buildings are blown up or burned out or destroyed, and the streets are filled with rubble. In the truck with you are some of the Battletoads. A few of them are very, very hurt, and driving the truck is this gnomish man in like a punk rock vest covered with studs. And then, yeah, obviously back there is Ellen Steffens. She's taken her helmet off, and she's kind of just like nursing the wound on her arm. You see, as you're looking around the back of this truck, the truck is it looks like it's going to be making a few stops, like as people are kind of hopping in. What do you want to do?
Danielle is looking at her spell cards as if she's going to cast Eldritch
I'm trying to
Blast.
see if I have any healing, asshole. Shit.
If you have healing, isn't it just for yourself?
Can I poke my head in and talk to the driver?
Yeah, you can poke your head in and talk to the driver. There's a little window. Actually, this whole vehicle is open, so you can just like lean over and talk to him.
Okay.
Like, so yeah, the driver is kind of focused on where they're going. What do you want to say to them?
Hey, little man. Where,
Oh, hey, what's up? What's good?
where are we going?
We're going back to base, obviously.
That's not that obvious, but okay. Thank you for answering.
You're welcome. He's polite.
It's the nicest her character has been in this entire game.
He's my driver. I don't want him.
Oh, so this kind of just fits into how Salt talks to driver characters.
I just don't want him to crash us or throw me out.
Yeah, that's a good point. That would be bad.
And then I just want to quickly turn to Ellen and how you doing? You doing okay? You holding up?
She pulls out a small flask and pours some of the liquid inside on the wound. Yeah, I'm fine. This really hurts.
If there's any alcohol left, you might want to drink it.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
And then she does take a big swig off of that flask.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then she begins to hand some to you, and she goes, "Wait, how old are you?"
I don't know.
Well, that's not good. And then she puts the flask back on her belt. And she goes, so who are you? You're not with the Toads. What unit are you with?
I am with God.
You're with the temple? What are you, a maiden?
Maybe. That sounds nice. I'm from the future, and
Ella looks at you like, what the fuck are you talking about? The future?
yeah, time that is ahead of now.
I know what the future is. What do you mean you're from there?
Well, I started there, and I went here.
Okay.
And anyway, what I wanted to know, what do you know about these shiny people with the big skewers, like the one who attacked you?
Well, I'm glad you led with "I'm from the future" to ask a basic question. I'm from the future, anyways. Where's the nearest McDonald's?
The Celestian Dragoons, they're like the shock troopers of the Celestian Crusade that's destroying this town.
It's a crusade. Mm-hmm. It's a religious thing.
Kind of, yes.
What's their deal? What do they want?
They want to bring everyone into Celestia. They want to. The god they worship is a god of law, and their whole thing is about everyone needs to be subject to the same law, and so that's what they're trying to do.
Oh, zealots. I got you. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, not all of them are buck wild, but definitely their leaders are. and they're really squeezing us for all we got. It sucks.
Wow.
She's very nonchalant about this. This is like every day for her. She's very chilled out about this whole sitch.
Well, she just took a big sip.
She did take a pretty big swig. She's like
pickle juice.
I got into a big fight. Time to get turned. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
I miss my mom back in the day.
Back in the future.
Back to the future.
Yeah,
Where
she
are
was-
we?
Okay, so now we're going to base, and what we're going to do there?
We're going to wait for Talgon to come back from his little mission, and then we're going to see what we do next.
Yes. Talgon has okay, sure. Yeah, what's his mission?
He and another agent were going to infiltrate the Celestian backline and try to disrupt them, and
Oh, I
maybe
like
get some
it.
information we can use to take advantage.
Oh, can I go? I want to go. That was
Well,
fun.
it already happened.
Oh, are they going back?
No,
Damn
that would be wild if they decided to go back and do their mission again.
I'll
Seeing as
do
our
it.
part's done.
I'll do it this time.
No, I don't think so.
Tag me in.
Are you sure you didn't drink anything?
We can't. Are you sure you've never had this flask? And she holds it up. I got this from a buddy of mine. No,
No, I did get a lot of blood in my mouth though, so maybe that's.
you got fucked right up, but you seem okay.
Yeah. No, it was other people's blood.
Right. That's distressing.
Well, it didn't taste as bad as you think.
She just kind of looks at you like, what the fuck are you talking about? But that's fine. That's the common reaction of most NPCs in this game to you guys. They look at you going, what the fuck are you talking about?
And then, oh, okay, that's fine.
Cool, that's okay, yeah,
I
well,
guess. Bye.
okay.
Well, this has made some things click into my head.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna hang in for the ride back to the base.
Okay, and I cannot stress how sorry I am that I misnamed Halifax's character Carolyn.
Oh
That's
my
really
God.
distressing to me, the dungeon master who's supposed to keep track of that
I'm gonna
shit.
call her Carolyn.
Yeah, it's Carolyn, right?
It's Caitlin.
What's up with Carolyn?
Sweet Carolyn.
Bye.
Bum, bum, bum.
Wren, you and your parents are
I thought it was just me and Ma for girls' night.
No, you are all going to Lellard's.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You get to Lellard's. It's early evening, so the sun is pretty much set. Inside of Lellard's, it's packed, and as soon as you walk in, Daniel, like a kid at Yule, he's just
Yeah,
like,
Yule.
oh man, where to start? Mopsy the mouse cat walks up and goes, well, hi, Daniel Steffens.
Oh.
Here to beat your high score. And then Daniel goes, you know it, Mopsy.
Oh,
And then
careful.
He throws a coin at Mopsy, and Mopsy tosses him a couple of tokens, which he catches actually pretty expertly,
Really?
and just runs off
my
to the
God.
arcade.
There he goes, huh?
That's right. Can't keep him from that dragon chess. And then Ellen brings her hand to her forehead, and she goes like, "I think I'm getting a headache. Let's find a seat and get something to eat, I guess." And then Mopsy motions for the two of you to come to sit at a table where there probably aren't too many kids running around eating
someplace
mutton
quiet.
pizza. That you two take a seat, and then Mopsy hands you two menus, which are, I don't know what's on the menu at Chuck E. Cheese.
Pizza, isn't it just pizza? I feel like this could be like a Cheesecake Factory kind of menu where there's everything under the sun.
I do know doesn't Cheesecake Factory send stuff to Chuck E. Cheese? Is that a mistake? They
I
do
don't
that,
know.
right? Like
I
a
don't
Cheesecake
think so.
Factory
Sounds
Express.
entirely
Or am I thinking
possible.
of Disney Quest?
They both sound.
I have no idea.
I don't know what Disney Quest is, but-
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
But Cheesecake Factory is definitely shipping their scraps to Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, yeah,
which they
for
then
sure.
just smush together into.
So yeah, there is some ye old cheesecake
Yeah.
factorium stuff in there.
What are you feeling, Ma?
And then she waves Mopsy over. She's like, "Wine, please."
Oh, God. Chardonnay in the afternoon, huh?
I just have this. It's very loud in here.
You get used to it. Well, when you come here every day.
Well, now we have another thing to talk about.
Therapy.
You order whatever you like, dear.
Okay.
What did you want to get?
I'm gonna get the lasagna. Cat's eye lasagna.
Cat's eye lasagna. Sounds good to me. And then Mopsy reaches up and pops out one of his eyes.
I can't with this guy.
It's a goof. And he holds the eye up.
Yeah.
And it's a separate and it winks at you. And he pops it back in his
I
eye.
like throw up in my
I'll
mouth.
be back. And he walks back to the kitchen.
You know, those guys are really the worst thing about this place.
I find that hard to believe given, well, and then she glances over at Lillard, like saying something to a kid and their parents while holding up one of those little plastic spider rings. She's like, I find that hard to believe given the proprietor.
You're not a fan?
Not a fan of Lillard, no.
Why?
He's a sleazy business owner
I mean,
who we all
he's
know
a-
runs back alley gambling.
Do we all know?
Yes,
Yeah,
Wren,
we all know.
We all know.
We all know. Yeah.
We all know. Everyone knows.
Yeah.
And then Ellen reaches into her jacket. I don't know if she's wearing a jacket. Reaches into like her shirt pocket, and she pulls out a small piece of paper, and she's like, so like we talked about the other day about you talking to somebody.
Yeah.
I think I know just the person.
Ooh.
And then she puts the paper down and hands it to you. And it's for a Dr. Helen.
Is it her?
No,
Oh, she's Ellen.
her name is Ellen.
I'm all
Dr. Mom.
Dr. Helen.
okay.
Yeah,
What do you know about this gal?
She's a friend from way back. Her name is Lisa. She just likes to go by Dr. Helen.
Was this like a Dr. Phil kind of thing?
No,
Dr. Oz?
no, more like a doctor of psychiatry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like a actual like
A real doctor.
like a real doctor. Yeah, not like the sawbonesy like. Well, let's hope that fixes on its own. Here's an
Yeah.
apple. More like she knows some healing stuff, and also you can talk to her.
Okay.
I set an appointment for you to go to her office tomorrow.
Oof. Okay.
She's very cool.
She's cool.
You'll like her.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
Easy to talk to?
very easy to talk
Was
to.
she one of the battle toads?
No, she was not one of the Battletoads.
Oh, okay.
Funny you say that. I met her after the war.
Oh, okay. Ooh, where's that lasagna?
That was a really real conversation right there.
That is where your little adventure with your mom ends. You guys just have the rest of the night is you guys just have like a nice dinner. Daniel Steffens runs around and makes a mess. It's great. Let's go back to Hemlock. Hemlock.
Oh no! So I know what's going on now.
Oh, really?
Well, I should have known because I just forgot like the casting of the original play. But I'm Talgon,
You are Talgon.
and Halifax is like my accomplice, and we're here in the back lines.
You are here in the back lines.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's why she was mad at me. Well, that's why Joe was mad at me, but that's why she was mad at me.
No, she was mad at you. I'm neutral towards
Yeah.
Jeff in general. Now,
What do you think as a friend?
how JoJo,
Ain't
the
that
dungeon
some
master,
shit,
feels about
right?
Hemlock, the character, who
I'm not
keeps
that smart.
forcing street
yeah.
magic into my world.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's why you look like
Was I the paladin?
You were not the paladin.
I thought she was cast.
I was like
as
a
the paladin, though.
backstage.
We're still our actual. We play whatever characters we were cast. We're not like.
Well, Salt didn't.
That's right. You're not anybody.
Salt was just
Thanks a
Salt
lot.
in this. So
Yep.
there's some reasons for that.
When
obviously.
does the assistant director come in?
You were cast as that?
Yeah.
We'll have to find out. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I was struggling a lot with why Salt didn't turn into the paladin. It's not because I forgot. There was a reason. Okay.
That would have been so fun.
So now I have to play
That'd be my
things
mom.
super chill now. If we're trying to get information back here, it's subterfuge.
You are the rooftop area is almost full. This is like a pretty heavy duty command center, but they broke down all of the Arcanist consoles. Some of them pulled up pieces of like the floor that had like energy crystals in them, probably to supply power to these Arcanist consoles, and they're all being carried like down the building. Caitlin leans over to you and goes, "So when are we gonna make our getaway?"
Well, what time of day is it right now? Is it daytime, nighttime?
It's getting dark.
Okay.
but it's hard to tell because it's so overcast.
Okay. I was like, well, I'm thinking once under cover of night, we're probably going to have to go separately so it doesn't look suspicious that the two of us would just disappear from the same group. So
That's a good point. Did you still want to deliver the note?
remind me, just real quick, it's the crystals are doing something to my head. Give me a quick reminder. Where was the note going?
Well, you were going to drop the note in the general's, office.
That's right. Thank you. Also, sorry about earlier. It's just been a day,
Yeah, I can kind of tell you're having a tough time.
War.
Yeah,
What is it good for?
Hopefully freeing this town
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
from occupation by
Yeah. So I guess we're going to have to go back at least to get to their base camp so I can drop the note. And then we're going to have to skedaddle from there. So I think we're going to have to follow the convoy back a bit. Where's the general now? Do we know where the general's at?
we think their base camp is somewhere in the Spider Stretch Woods, but we've never been able to get over there. This is the closest we've gotten.
All right. Maybe we should take advantage of our situation and see what that looks like.
Maybe we should. One of the consoles still hasn't been fully broken down. Halifax messes with it a little bit.
Beep, bop, beep, beep, boop, boop.
She does do a beep, bop, beep, 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 boop. And as she's pulling up like different maps and things, you can see where it's showing a map of the Spider Stretch Woods, the southern part, and you can actually see where their camp is. It's actually not too far into the woods. It looks like there's a clearing, like an actual like a wide berth clearing that was like clear cut where the Celestian army set up. And you could probably get there if you just like walked.
Okay.
It's probably not that far, but more than likely there is going to be a convoy heading there.
Okay.
That you can go to.
I mean, yeah, let's start making our way that direction, in a non-suspicious way. Like, we can't be completely separate from like the group that we're.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't be, seeing as you're sort of like higher ranked than a lot of the people
Yeah.
here.
So if we know the direction, let's get them to start moving out. Let's go. Let's head back to camp. Everyone, let's roll out.
Yes, Lieutenant. And then they start packing shit up.
All right.
You go down to the bottom floor. This was like a burned out apartment building. There's no one living in it. It's just like a trashed mess. Aside from like the movement of the Celestian soldiers who had taken it over and were using it as a base camp, there's nobody here.
Mm-hmm.
When you get down to the bottom, there is it's like a horse-drawn carriage. It's not an Arcanist mobile, but this horse-drawn carriage has like horses and badass like armor.
Cool.
Caitlin motions for you to climb in the back, and then she hops up on the front and she like starts the horse going.
Yep. she
She revs. She's like, this horse won't turn over. I need to take this thing to the horse shop,
Yeah.
the
Gotta-
stable.
It's got a little. I can't make a horse pun because I can't figure
need
out how to
the-
turn neigh or hay into something.
There's got to be something
Yeah.
there. Danielle, any thoughts?
I was hoping something would pop up immediately.
Yeah, I
but
know.
It didn't.
I'm like trying to think of stores.
The carrot lit converter. Maybe that's not working.
Is that anything? Carrot lit converter.
Oh my God.
Horses like carrots. There should be something there.
Yeah.
Anyway, the horse turns over, and then you get the cart makes its way north towards the Spider Stretch Woods. Salt, Arcanist vehicle that you are in, comes to rest at a large structure. From what you can tell, this is the town square. The fountain is here. It's kind of fucked up and there's no water in it. But you're definitely at the town square. And this building that you're looking at it's pretty large. You're not exactly sure what it is in relation to where you are, like in the present. It's got a large fence around it that looks like it's been attacked a few times. There's like signs of battle here. And then the actual structure itself looks heavily fortified with like bricked up windows and stuff like that. And there is like a tent in front of it where there are some guards. And the Battletoads start hopping out. Ellen steps up and she reaches a hand out to help pull you to your feet. And she's like, all right, let's go in. Let's get some of those wounds checked out. She motions for you to hop off the back of the Arcusmobile, and then she walks into the building. What do you want to do?
I will follow her.
You follow her into the tent structure. One of the guards there, who's just wearing like a mishmash of like armor and different clothes, raises his hand up to stop you, and then Ellen goes, "It's fine. Just chill out."
Yeah.
He's like, "All right, fine."
Suck it.
Wow,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
That's not a saying that these old timey people know.
Well, they do now.
Suck what, little lady?
My butthole.
You're led inside of this. Once you get inside this place, you notice that it looks like a temple. That's sort of the best way to describe it, because there's lots of like effigies of like a figure clad in robes, like statues, like along the walls. You're led into this central area where there is a large, like a dais, like a large like black circle on the ground. But everyone in this place seems to just be like resting, recuperating. You see a spot where a bunch of weapons are set up, probably for like members of this militia to get equipped. There's like a medical tent inside this building. Someone set up a tent for some reason to like treat people. There's what looks to be like a galley, like someone has set up a little kitchen area where there's tables to eat. And it's just in this large open air space. And there is a roof above you, but it's just this large open space.
I like the way you said that there's tables to eat, because like
You can eat the whole table.
it's just you're sitting at a table and they
The
give you a bunch
tables
of
are
smaller
made
tables.
of an edible sponge sugar.
Ooh.
And it's delicious.
That sounds amazing.
What do you want to do?
I do have a question. My special item, the healing Diet Coke thing, can other people get healed by that?
They can, yes. It'll use a charge.
Okay. How many does it have?
2.
2?
Yeah.
Nope. She's gonna go to the medical tent. She'll be fine.
She does go to the medical tent. Yeah, to get her wound looked at.
I'm gonna take a little walk around. Listen.
Tell everyone you're from the future.
Hi, Salt, future person. How you doing?
You're like Mabel from the episode of Gravity Falls, where she's just
Here's
giving
a calculator.
a calculator to the pioneers.
I'm just gonna take a little walk around, see if I can overhear any interesting conversations.
Okay. What are you trying to find out about?
I really have no idea what the fuck's happening, so really anything.
Okay.
Maybe more about the Celestians.
Make a perception check.
It is 10.
You can hold 1.
Okay.
One thing I will say that you notice as you're walking through this, you hear a lot of conversations happening, but for some reason you can't make out many of them. Even if you try to tune into what they're saying, like it's almost like they're speaking gibberish. It's a lot of watermelon Shakespeare in this place.
Wow.
So the failure is not necessarily that like you failed to hear them. It's you did hear them, but for the most part, a lot of what people were talking about just didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So this would be investigate a mystery. Okay. So what would you like to investigate?
What is useful or valuable?
What is useful or valuable? Genuine, who was hanging out with you,
Yeah.
he's sort of like perusing around like the different spots, and then he walks up to the dais. Like he's actually sitting like dead center in this space, and you can see him, and no one else can. And he's kind of like glancing down at the dais, like a little curiously, and then he's looking up, also like a little bit more quizzically. Like he's kind of like, the emotion I would put on it is nostalgic.
Interesting.
Yeah, like he's kind of looking like, oh, there it is. You know, that kind of thing.
Genuine, darling, you been here before?
Of course I've been here before.
You don't have to take that tone.
I'm sorry. What did you say I did or didn't have to do?
Nothing.
All right, then.
I hate you.
I don't like this relationship.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah. So, you remember what do you remember? What's this? Who's what? Where?
What is this place?
Sure.
Back in the day, this was a temple, obviously,
Of course, obviously, yes.
to the goddess Calaxy.
Ooh.
Oh, sounds cool. Who dat?
Who dis?
This would be a spout lore.
Okay. It's about lore.
No, I don't think Genuine would necessarily need to explain this to you.
All right. 13.
Plus religion.
Wait, there's a religion?
Yep.
Hey, I got 2.
So 15?
I've got 2 religion.
Plus
Okay, it's a good roll.
religion. I'm a Wiccan.
You commune with Gaia, the Earth Spirit, who grants you some of her wisdom.
And a ring,
About
along
the
with 4 other
trees.
teenagers.
Ooh.
No. Calaxy is a name that you do recognize. It is a goddess of literally like the Earth. Like it is a goddess of the planet that you are on, or the plane. Where you're from, like no one worships this.
Why? Oh,
We're going to bring it back.
sorry, I'm not there.
Mostly just
Somewhere in the air. What?
mostly because it just sort of like fell out of favor. You know what I mean? Like it just stopped being like super important. Maybe there are people in different parts of your plane who still pay alms to this goddess, but no one in Spring Willow does. There's no temple to Calaxy in Spring Willow. This is just a goddess of like the plane itself, and not necessarily like an aspect of it. It is like the plane's goddess is called Calaxy, and this is a temple to her. But
Okay.
that's all you know for sure.
I'm not exactly sure why you would be so familiar with a Calaxy temple. Like, what? You don't seem like you're really a god type.
I'm not really a god type. Well, you got me there, with the claws and whatnot.
Yeah, it's a little,
It's important to know. It's important to know your history, Salt.
I know a little bit, but I'm from the future.
Stop telling people
Everyone
that.
is just like, oh my God, there she
Isn't
goes
that the
again about the future.
Isn't that the first rule of time travel? Like, shh.
Blend in. It's
Blend it in.
like Quantum Leap, and Scott Bakula's like, I'm not Doris Day, I'm from the future.
He does do a good Doris Day.
From the future. So this is the past, is it?
I believe so, yes.
So by that logic, if you were to go back to the present, things would be different.
I don't see why.
Oh, interesting. And why is that?
Because it's fun to say that to your face.
Oof.
I have taught you well.
Thank you.
I have taught you my many tricks well.
Yes, I would expect it to be different.
Does Salt think she's in the past?
I think she would have picked up on it based on the fact that it's Spring Willow, but somehow different, like a weird Spring Willow, and that there are Celestians. Because she knows that there was a war between the Celestians and the whoever's.
She doesn't. Yeah, so that's all accurate.
Does time travel exist in this type of like reality?
Interdimensional travel exists, so I imagine.
Salt, if you want to ask that would be a spout lore.
Okay. All right. Well, here. That's a 9. So 11.
Time travel does not exist.
Well, that's Solve that mystery. Great.
Time travel is not a thing that you have ever no. That's just like a hard no.
So every time she says it, people are just like,
From the future, they just like, what the fuck are you
it's
talking
like,
about?
in The Walking Dead, how the term zombie isn't real. Okay.
This is
Walkers.
and not even like with your knowledge of like arcana and stuff like that. Like, there's no way this is even remotely like you couldn't do this. Like
Right.
you couldn't reverse things in this way.
Okay.
And if you did, like, how would you, like, would it even really be time travel at that point from your perspective? But also, like, the amount of power it would take to do that, you couldn't even fathom it. You couldn't even fathom the ability to, like, literally reverse everything in a plane to a specific point.
Gotcha.
If that is possible, you couldn't think of a way to do that. And then also, there's just things about the situation you're in that don't ring true. Chief among them, the fact that a lot of the conversations you're hearing don't sound like anything.
Right.
That's very odd. If this really were time travel, just as like a litmus test, you would be able to like just talk to people.
Yeah.
Like if we're basing on the odds of like you're back in time,
Right.
then you should have the ability to like hear people talk, and you can't.
Okay.
Thank you, Genuine.
Really? Thanks.
You know, but that was you kind of like realizing like this isn't time travel.
Okay.
Thanks, me.
Thanks, me. Wren, your evening with your parents has ended.
Yeah.
They've decided to take off and go home.
Question, DM. Did
Yes.
my dad get any cool prizes? Did he win big?
Look into your heart and you tell me. Do you think Daniel Steffens won big at Lellert's?
Probably not, but I think he got something like super small and terrible.
He got a sticky hand.
Yeah,
He
it's
got
like
one of those
the
long sticky hands.
and then on the way home he just keeps hitting my mom with it.
Yeah,
He's that guy.
She's like, it's really fun. It's really funny. It's really funny. He's like, I know, it's great. You kind of have like sort of free reign right now, and I will say that like you do notice your little now that you're like not paying attention to your parents, your brooch pin has been going off for like
Of so many
a
missed
grip.
messages.
a lot of missed messages on this one.
So missed messages. So can I like see them or hear them?
Yeah,
Or,
if you
like, I
want.
know. Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you guys go ahead. I gotta catch up with some stuff.
Yeah,
They're
apparently.
missing.
You tap on your brooch pin and
Doop.
then a mystical voice is like, you have 37 missed messages.
Jeepers creepers, Sunday fun day.
They're all from Professor Danvers. And they're all like,
Her just trying to figure out.
Home Ec Vice President, we've uncovered something. Hit me back. Beep. Message two. Hey, Home Ec Club Vice President right now. We're just trying to figure something out. Could really use your assistance. Call me back. Beep. It's that
Okay,
for like
all right.
finally at the very end after all these
This
famous.
is a fucking lot of stuff. she's
And then
sending.
it's a message from Dell, and Dell goes, "Can you come to this intersection by the Merchant Quarter? We're not going anywhere. Something's wrong with Salt and Hemlock."
Oof.
And then she turns off the message.
Sounds like a job for Wren Bar.
When none of us are around, this is how you speak to yourself.
What'd you say? Nothing. Nothing.
You go to that intersection where they mentioned.
I'm not close.
No, you just go there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It takes.
I'm looking for a ride.
You guys are all like sort of split up, so like time is kind of floating.
Okay.
But you go to where Salt and Hemlock were / are, and when you get there, you see Professor Danvers and you see Dell, and they look like they're like running experiments on like two statues, like they're scanning them and brushing them. And when you get closer, you see that the two statues are just Salt and Hemlock, just not moving at all.
Okay.
Professor Danvers turns to you when you walk on and he goes, "Vice President, you've arrived!"
Yes.
So here's the thing. I don't know what's wrong with them.
Okay.
Dell
Teacher, so that's worrisome.
Dell turns to you and goes, they walked past, I guess, some kind of a threshold, and when they did, they just kind of passed out.
And
we're
they've just
standing
been
up.
standing here?
Well, we moved them off the street, but yeah, we can't seem to wake them up.
You guys didn't see any barrier?
Dell puts on her glasses and she goes like, "What should I be looking for?"
I mean, whatever barrier they're talking about.
Okay, yeah, she cycles through some different pieces of different things in her little goggles, and she's like, I don't see anything here.
What if I look through my hand hole?
This handhold thing's got to come into play. at
I
some
know.
point or another.
Like, we got to keep
The
testing
handhole shows what it did before. It shows that voided
it.
space with
Avoid that
nothing
bit.
in it.
I'm used to it by now. It's
Yeah.
not-
Well, I mean, it's different than what it has been before. It's the voided space, but there's nothing in it.
Can I cast detect magic to see if I can?
Yes. And casting detect magic, you immediately see the barrier.
Oh, you guys, come the fuck
right
on! It is
there.
right here.
Yeah, it
Can
is.
they see it? If I can?
Yeah, you can tell them.
Okay.
Yeah. It's this massive barrier of like greenish light that's a bubble around the merchant district.
Ta-da!
Do you see anything on these two that might be of use? That's a good noise. You're looking at the two of them, and you can see like the energy of this massive like shape. It is affecting them in a weird way. Like they're not like Dell and Professor Danvers can just walk in and out of this bubble.
Yeah.
Nothing happens
But
to
because
them.
of-
Something about Salt and Hemlock, it looks like connected to them. Like there's little tendrils of the bubble like touching them.
Can it, just touching them in random spots, or is there
Random
like, one
spots.
Where is the
specific
bubble
thing?
touching me?
So okay.
Random spots, just like random tendrils of energy are just kind of latched onto them.
Is there a way I can check their person to see if they both have like a similar thing that maybe is like making it react with them or something? I want to
That'll-
frisk them.
That'll be that would have to be a perception check.
Okay.
Um,
Can I investigate the situation? No, I don't want to do that. I'm terrible with those.
no, this this is perception to investigate a mystery.
14 plus 1, so 15.
You can hold 2, and I will
Give me 1.
give you 1.
Oh, good.
Based on what you can see, like this is going to be like what happened here. You were correct that something on them is causing this to happen. They walked into this bubble and they instantly almost like the reason why it latched onto them is they're involved in whatever this bubble is doing
Oh, okay.
in some way. You can kind of get the idea that like it really is that this magic is latched on to them. If you could find a way to interrupt it, possibly you could remove it. But it's latched onto them for whatever reason.
So no, it's not because of an item.
Not an item, no.
Is it because they're both in the play? Because now I'm just offended that I'm not attached to it because I am the assistant director and that's as much as part of the play as a part.
That's a good guess. Yeah, they are a part of the... Dell and Professor Danvers are not a part of the play.
But it's not an item.
But they are also not a part of the play.
I know. So it's like,
Is there a cast sheet? Is that what it is?
ooh, do they have like their lines on them or something? Oh, you said it wasn't an item though.
Wasn't an item, but they are part of the play. You know that. So you can hold 1.
Okay. Shit. What is useful or valuable?
What would be
Or what is
useful?
No, I already said the other one. Yeah. What the fuck is going on?
Well, I
That
already told you that.
I know.
That was what happened.
I know.
So you're gonna do what is useful or valuable?
I think so. I just want to figure out what I can do to interrupt what's going on or put myself in it. If I can put myself in the game.
You get the idea that like maybe it'll do something to you, just on the grounds that you know you're in the play. That's something you kind of figured out.
Am I not in it?
You're not in it. You're just on the outside. You're on the outside of it.
Oh, okay. Can I convey what I think to them so they just know where I'm like, I think it has something to do with the play for some reason.
And then Dell's like, then she kind of looks at Salt and she goes like, they're in the play?
They're both in the play. He's Talgon.
That is
Got the lead.
really?
Are you impressed? I know.
Why are you surprised?
We figured you first
You're
of all,
hey,
you can't
you're a-
respond.
you're a
You are
rock.
statue. We figured maybe he put butts in seats.
That makes sense. And then Professor Danvers goes, this play, have you looked at it yet?
Didn't we find the book?
You just saw it. You didn't do
But we
anything
didn't
with
do
it.
anything with it.
Yeah.
No, I haven't looked at it. It's like the tale of Talgon and Keurig.
Keurig.
Coffee machine.
Something like
delicious coffees.
pods.
Professor Danvers goes, Del, could you go and see if you can find it backstage? And Del's like, on it. And then she starts running towards Springwillow Academy.
Get that girl a bike.
In the meantime, Professor Danvers goes, so the bubble is affecting them in some way. We need to isolate them. And then she reaches into her pocket without kind of breaking eye contact and pulls out the blue crystal.
Wait, no. I feel
Hang
like
on.
That's not good.
This will work.
Do you know though?
Listen.
Okay.
You have to put your energy out in the world if you want it to come back to you.
Nope. This is not that weird secret book that they tried to peddle.
No,
at
the
book
weird
fair.
secret book is behind the stage. Let's do this. And she raises up the crystal. And it starts to glow very lightly and emanate a field of energy around where Professor Danvers is standing. And here's what you two experience. Salt, you're having this conversation with Genuine, and you kind of come in, and this is like, you've just had that realization, like, this can't be time travel. At least not in the way that, like, movie scrolls and plays have explained what time travel works, right. Where you go into the past to change, like, that can't be what this is.
Because you're like, I should have disappeared by now.
You should have.
You
should have disappeared by now, just on the grounds that you affected who you're pretty sure is your mom, and nothing occurred, and you didn't suddenly feel a swell of parental pride, as if you talking to her made her proud of you in the future. So no, this isn't time travel.
Still hate her. Okay.
Still hate her. Yeah, and you're still cold towards her.
Yeah.
Hemlock, the cart you're in with that
Caitlin.
Caitlifax was driving.
Carolyn?
Caitlin, stop it.
Carolyn.
Has made its way to the camp, and the cart sort of has pulled up to a spot where a bunch of other like carts are. Some of them seem very heavily battle damaged, some not. And you can see this is like a pretty large military camp with a large tent. And what both of you experience is, as you're about to like do something else, you see this like a vertical line of like blue light appear from nowhere and like etch its way down in the middle of the air. And then it like widens, and you see the street where Professor Danvers and Wren are.
Hey.
They don't notice you.
Oh, whoops. But I feel our friendship.
But this etched thing seems wide enough for you to like step through. What do you want to do?
Step through it.
I mean, I'm having so much fun though. All right, fine. Let's try to step through it.
So we both got one like next to us. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have our own little doorway.
You take a step into this big like window, and then like your point of view immediately shifts to where you guys are like on the street, which is you're both kind of leaning against like a bench. And whatever stuck positions you're in. Salt, your back really, really hurts because when you were bending down to pick something up.
Oh, no.
When you were knocked, like, whatever this was. And now your back just hurts.
I was going to be like, because she's carrying this arc.
Hemlock, you're kind of leaning against you're just leaning against the bench, and, like, your shoulder hurts. But otherwise, you're more or less fine because your arm has just been out like this for who knows how many hours.
I'm super buff now.
Soaked in sweat.
And they look at you, they're like, Home Ec Club, you're back. Excellent. How are you feeling?
Sore
Yeah, it hurts a little bit.
and confused.
Guys.
Hi.
Old Wren figured out the mystery.
Old Rennie Wren did figure out the mystery. So what happened in there? And then I guess you guys can
We both have very different stories to tell.
Yeah, I'm going to just say that you fill in Professor Danvers to what happened, because I would know, and I will just know that you would have, unless you deliberately try to hide something from her. And then Professor Danvers goes, after you've explained kind of what happened inside of this fucking mind palace green
holodeck
bubble, Professor Danvers goes,
Well, this is very curious. I'm going to need to think on this, home ec club. And then she uses the blue crystal to kind of like
Put that away.
she goes, it's pretty neat.
I know.
She puts it away.
Thank you.
She makes sure that the blue crystal kind of like pushes back part of the bubble enough so you guys can like step away from inside of it, and you guys are now outside the membrane of this big green shape.
Cool.
And then
And scene.
Professor Danvers goes,
Nice.
I would very much recommend not going into this thing until we have a better handle on what it is.
You know, I was just about to turn back before you said that, and now that you said that,
I would highly recommend you don't do that, Salt.
I'll think back.
However, I will turn my back and walk away in a few moments.
No. Don't. You're the only kind of authoritative figure here that'll stop.
Well, I'm just saying it's late and I have papers to grade. Yes, home ec papers to grade. Don't start with me. I fought against it tooth and nail.
Is it like Sunday now?
No.
Like, okay.
It's been one day.
Okay.
This is one of those one long days you guys have sometimes. Professor Danvers goes, I'm going to have to think on this one. I told Dell to go pick up the play at the back of the auditorium. Hopefully she can find it and we can get a clue as to what's going on here. In the meantime, I suggest the three of you go get some rest. I have a feeling more home ec business will be undertaken later.
Ugh.
And she leaves.
I love this club. You guys liking this club?
Are we going to tell Adele to not come back here? Or
Dell's smart.
She'll figure it out when no
And
one's
if
there.
anything, you can just like send her a message by pin.
So the cops didn't take Fizzy's like bag and shit.
Why would they?
Evidence?
They're investigating a mystery. I would feel like they'd take
A
it,
missing person.
right?
this is
We
not
got
on
some
their radar.
we got
at
some shit.
You have to
Springwell.
look for the manifesto and see what they're gonna bomb.
That's possibly true. Yeah, we'll have to find out, won't we?
You guys hungry? You want some lasagna? I got some extra lasagna.
Semester,
Why does it look like that?
Why is it just in your hands?
Hey everybody, it's JoJo the Dungeon Master for the Rolls We Made, because the real podcast was the rolls we made along the way. Thank you so much for joining us for the third act, part 4, which is a little bit low-key, a little less fighty, I have to say. And you know what? I gotta come clean. Squad, I have to come clean about two things. One, I have just gotten Invisalign, and I'm not 100% used to talking with it yet, but I'm owning it. I'm loving it. I sound awesome. The other thing, too, is this arc is going in a direction I didn't expect as well. Like, the big game arc was very action-packed with lots of, like, frantic movement. The third act is a little bit more low-key, a little more talky, and a little less, hey, let's go stab something. Which I noticed it, but part of me was like getting kind of far from the Dungeon and Dragon-y stuff of Dungeons and Dragons. There was a post on Reddit /RPG. Question someone asked: is Dungeons and Dragons a game about killing monsters? Which is almost a troll post to me, but a lot of people argued yes, it is a game about killing monsters. Dungeons and Dragons is not a game. Dungeons and Dragons is a game system. It's kind of like saying, is the PlayStation 4 about shooting people? It can be. Not all the time, though. And that was the part that I couldn't get over. And weirdly enough, this is one of those instances where it's like, our game, The Aura of Autumn, which is still the title of the campaign, even though we were way past autumn now. Is it about killing monsters? Sometimes. It's really not about killing monsters. But the engine that I'm making this game in, like Frostbite or Unreal, it's really, really good for dynamic, fun combat. Like, it's a really good engine for making things fight and die. And I haven't been leveraging it as much as I want, but now I think I really want to. In the meat space where we're actually playing, Gang is about to get into some real trouble. But for the next couple episodes, just be prepared for a little down-tempo, a little chill, a little fun episodes. And then after that, oh man, it's going to be wild. Listen up, guys. And, man, I'm not happy to say this, but I got bad news. Yep. News is my computer's on the floor. My computer's on the floor. My coffee, it's on the floor as well. My dining, floor, all floor. And I have no solution for that. But let me check my email real quick. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, dang. What do you know? As it turns out, the Rolls We Made is brought to you by Legendcraft. Why is that good news? I'll tell you why it's good news. Legendcraft is a Canadian woodworking business that specializes in making cool, nerdy furniture and accessories for all tabletop games. You can head on over to Legendcraft.ca and customize your own gaming table. Now, am I allowed to eat at it? Well, no, I wouldn't be allowed to eat at it. That's my gaming table. Am I allowed to put my computer on it? In the context of gaming, I sure am. But you can put together your own table, and it would be amazing. And if you want to eat at it, I'm not going to say anything. They're beautiful tables. Handcrafted, cup holders, and spots for dice, and spots for notes, and spots for your books. They're amazing. You can go on over to legendcraft.ca, customize your own table, and you can get 5% off your purchase by using the offer code ROLLSWEREMADE at checkout. All purchases made with the offer code Rolls Were Made will directly support this show as well. So if you really like us, hey, get yourself a table, type in Rolls Were Made. You're going to have supported us, you're going to have supported Legendcraft, and you're going to have supported all of the objects that need to go on a table in one fell swoop. So head on over there, legendcraft.ca, Legendcraft. Start your own legend. The next episode of The Rolls We Made is going to be coming out on Friday, September 25th. Oh, man. It's dawned on me that we are, at the time of this episode, maybe about halfway through the campaign. Isn't that wild? I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this episode, the coming episodes, and the rest of the third act. Thank you. And with that same spirit, I'll say you guys all just kind of like go home and rest and recuperate and get your health back and spells back and all that stuff. You enjoy the benefits of a nice long rest.
Yay!
It is now the next day.
Oof.
I know.
Nervous.
Woof. Time for school, y'all.
Oh, man.
I got my
know.
uniform. I ain't worried.
Hey, had your fun little adventure, but guess what? Y'all are students. That was the breaks.
I drop out.
No.
I want to be an actor.
Never.
What do you do about that, DM?
I will disallow it. You cannot drop out of school.
Oh, you just added that.
No, I didn't.
That's not in the fine print.
We could have been doing all of this
Damn
stuff
it.
without school this whole time.
You could have been just riding around the country.
Yeah, you could have been running around the countryside, killing stuff, and no, you're having a school-based adventure. You have to stay in school. Wren,
Yeah.
one of the electives that you went for,
Is this something I forgot about?
it was something that you forgot about. We've never landed on it.
Oh, okay.
Wren, you are taking drama as a class,
Not,
which in some ways makes sense to me.
but I didn't want to go out for the play.
Well, I guess not. I guess maybe that's what we haven't had.
I'm that bitch. I don't know.
we haven't gotten we've never landed on the event where you go to drama class.
Okay.
But I guess given what's going on, I guess you're learning practical stuff in drama, like how to be a stagehand and direct and produce a play as opposed to just act.
It's it's kind of like a Jodie Foster thing. Like once I'm a high performer, but it's like I kind of just want to be.
Yeah, I mean, you do a lot of performance just in your day-to-day life, so it would kind of make sense that you're interested more in the practical business side of how do you put on a performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you have drama class today.
Okay.
It's taught by Professor Wiz. He's very serious about the craft of putting together a play, and even though Fizzy's missing, he's like, class today, even though the director is ill,
Let's go with that.
Okay.
Even though the director is ill, we still
Start
have to
act.
prepare for the winter performance, which means that today we're going to be putting together some decorations and flyers, things that need to go in the auditorium to let everyone know, hey, there's a show today.
Okay.
And so, Wren, that's your task for the day. You're going to be putting together some like decorations and flyers,
flair.
some flair for the play.
Nice.
And weirdly enough, what justifies these two showing up is they're working in the play, like they're
Yeah.
actors. So they're like, you get tagged to come to help Wren do this because it's just part of the obligation of being in the cast.
Let's make some shit, guys.
All of you need to roll for your school event. Wren and Hemlock, you need to be at a 10. Salt, you need to be at a 15 because you still don't have your Spring Willow uniform back.
Ooh.
13.
I have an infinite closet.
Not mechanically, you don't. I asked you if you wanted to give up an asset to get it back, and you said no.
Yeah, because fuck it. All right.
I got 13.
I got 3.
What'd you get?
Y'all keep coming up in here and fucking up my school event.
I got a 1.
Can I just kick them out of the class?
No.
Never
Just start
mind.
rolling for us. We're not
I'll
good
just
at the
start
rolling.
going. Actor.
Unfortunately, you guys start making some stuff, and like Wren, yours look great. Like you have some pretty like kick-ass decorations that kind of set the mood of a nice performance. You draw the image of Thespo, the god of acting, who has 2 masks that kind of float in space.
Yeah. I don't know.
They look really great. Hemlock, you just draw yourself as a magician.
That tracks.
It looks cool,
Yeah.
but it's not what you were supposed to do.
Okay. I'm trying to promote my own side work through this right now.
Salt, you tell me what you drew.
So I took the glue and I drew out a little stick figure play, and then I put some puffy paint over that, and then I poured glitter on it,
Nice.
and it looks really, really pretty.
It does look real pretty, but unfortunately, from a design perspective, it totally clashes with everything everyone did,
Glitter goes with everything.
No one likes glitter. Hot take.
especially Professor Wisp, who looks at it and goes, well, shoot. I guess we'll have to work on this one a little longer.
Why?
The tension pull has increased by 1.
So now we're at 3?
They're at 4.
4?
Yeah, so shit can get pretty wild.
Oh boy.
As school lets out, you all get pinged by Professor Danvers, and she says, I need you all to come to the auditorium right now.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
You get to the auditorium right now. You see quite the scene when you get to this auditorium. Rehearsal is sort of on hold until they find out what happened to Fizzy. Even though, Wren, you could fill in the shoes of being the assistant director.
Which I have probably said multiple times.
Fizzy was very clear.
Look, Fizzy might be dead, but that doesn't mean the show should be.
Fizzy
So-
might be dead.
The show must go on.
The show has to go on. And then you guys get there and you see Professor Danvers from the doorway kind of looking like quizzically. And you all walk up to her and she's like, oh, hello, students. Wait a moment. Now. And then you see a shape fly through the air towards the stage.
Spider-Man?
No.
Spider-Man, don't turn out the dark.
And then you see another shape, weirdly enough, swinging after it.
That's
Spider-Man?
No.
Plays cursed, and you know it.
Spider Dell.
Hey!
She's used her grappling hook to swing after this shape, and she like leaps for it, and she misses, and she lands on like the stage with like a pretty loud thud, and then she screams out, "Damn it!" And then she looks over to you guys, and she's like, "Thank God you're here. Please help me with this. I've been trying to get this stupid book all day.
The book is swinging in the air?
I can't get a hand on it."
Is it the book that's flying around?
From context clues, yes.
Okay.
Dell can't get a handle on this book. Even though that was her task from the night before.
Dale, how long you been awake?
I told my mom to call the school and say I took a sick day. Does that give you an idea?
No.
Yeah. Well, if someone doesn't get sleep, they get grouchy.
That's right. I do get grouchy. The book is like flying around the room.
All right.
What do you guys want to do?
All right.
Let's use our mage hands together to grab the book.
Can we do that?
You've done it before, I think.
We don't have any nets.
Do you have mage hand?
I have mage hand, yeah.
I got mage hand.
You don't have mage hand. All right.
I have mage hand.
You have mage hand.
And that's 10 pounds each that we can hold, and that book can't be more than 10 pounds.
No, it can't.
What if I put bugs on it? It'll weigh it down.
Could put bugs on it.
Big bugs.
That'll make it heavier than we can't grab it with mage hand.
Kissing cockroaches. They're heavy.
Wren, I'm going to say that you try first. Just
Mage hand.
make a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Sleight of mage hand check.
Sleight of mage hand.
18.
Whoa.
Oh, plus a sleight of hand? Should be like 25.
5.
Shit, yeah.
Hot rolls.
Your mage hand actually pretty easily is able to grab onto the book as it's flying around like above the stage.
And I just go, assistant director.
The mage hand floats down to you, holding on to the copy of the play that Fizzy had. And yeah, it's just a small leather-bound book, purple writing, The Tale of Talgon and Kirik, a history.
How's Dell taking this of us immediately fixing the problem?
She kind of hangs her head. She took this really hard. She was really trying.
I use my mage hand to give her a little pat on the back.
And she's like,
You
thank
guys
you.
broke her heart.
She stands up and she was like, I've
Are
been
you
trying.
impressed? Oh,
I mean, I am impressed because you did get this book and I've been trying to get it all day. So yes, I am impressed.
cool.
Thank you for getting it.
I think you did a great job.
Thank you. I'm going to go lie down now.
Oh, okay.
And then Professor Danvers goes, use the fold-out bed in the home ec room. That's right. Sometimes I take naps in there.
What? That's not surprising.
She,
The more I get to know you.
she walks over to the book that you've mage handed down, and she reaches out to grab it. And then the book flips up out of your mage hand and like flies across the room as she tries to touch it. And she goes, And then she walks over to try to get it again, and the book like moves away again.
So it's on a string,
Someone's just.
like a dollar bill.
And then she turns back to you and she goes, Wren, try to pick this thing up again.
Yeah.
Meow.
You don't have to roll for this. Your mage hand picks it up easily,
Sick.
and it floats back over to you. Professor Danvers starts to move to touch it, and then she stops because she sees it quivering.
No.
And then she turns to you, Salt, and goes, Salt, try to grab the book.
Okay.
You try to grab the book, and again, it starts quivering as your hand starts to get close.
Fish, what?
I know.
Soul paper.
Wren, grab this book.
Yeah.
You don't gotta rub it in. Shit.
The book does nothing when you try to grab it.
Quiver or anything.
No.
With anticipation.
Daddy's home.
Yeah, you pick up the book and it's just a book in your hands, which from context clues, this is a soul paper book. And from context clues, this one's yours.
Cool.
I know it is pretty cool. You guys now have the copy of the play and it's in possession of Wren. What do you want to do?
Probably read it.
Yeah, take a peek in there.
Yeah.
Take a peek.
Yeah, check the margins.
I'll roll to peek.
Roll to peek. This will be investigate a mystery.
2.
You give yourself 80 paper cuts.
Wait a second.
Plus,
Inspiration.
you'll need to roll an 8.
I'd have to get an 8.
Yeah. Well, what's your investigate a mystery skill at? Your investigation skill?
1.
You need to roll a 7. But you can do it.
You think I could do it, Joe?
I mean, you have a 1 in
8?
chance. 2 and 8 chance.
Wait, I roll it twice?
No, just once.
Oh,
Yeah.
5.
Ah, so close.
You can hold.
Half. I'm all what?
You can hold 1
You could
from
say
investigate a mystery.
say a word in a questioning tone.
Investigate a mystery. What is being concealed a good one? Group or who or what is it?
Is that a question?
Yeah.
We know it's a book of soul paper and it's the play.
And I know from listening to the last episode that there's a green glow on the spine.
There is a green glow on the spine. Not while you're holding it, but there is a green glow on the spine.
Maybe we want to know what it's concealing?
Yeah, maybe
What-
concealing. Maybe
What
that's
is
the
this?
one.
What's being concealed? I don't know why I said it like that.
With enthusiasm.
Because we're in the
The
theater.
theater. Yeah.
I'll tell you a couple of basic things about this book, and then I'll tell you what's being concealed just from like looking at this, flipping through this book, sort of like how Hemlock's book worked. As you're flipping through it, words appear on there. Some of them you can't make out, but some of them you can. And like with Hemlock's book, the words in this one sort of get at like the town of Springwillow, but really a lot about like it's kind of almost like an idea journal. Like it's kind of talking about like I saw like the sunset behind the mountain today, and I had this thought, and it's like someone wrote out like what they had that thought about.
Okay.
A lot of them are built around dates. Some of them do seem to coincide with specific events. Like you actually see one that is a story about how you got in a fight in a building, like in a dorm building. You managed to succeed, but also like every page, like down the center, almost like it was written on top of something else, is the text of the play. Kind of like how Coach Theris's plays were written on top of Hemlock's
Because you
book.
couldn't see.
Couldn't see what was beneath it. This is sort of that same thing, although the text of this looks almost printed.
Everyone in this town be picking up books and just writing in them without.
Well, no, this book was already written in.
This is old.
Yeah. This book was already written in like the play text, like it's a playbook.
Oh,
Like,
okay. So
I'd
it's
say
not
it
like
looks like it was
they
printed.
wrote it
It's
recently.
not like Fizzy didn't write the play.
Okay.
He just found it. But what's in this book is it looks like the text of the play was written on top of this soul paper book that is attuned to Wren. In terms of what is being concealed, at the back of the book, you see a space that looks like it could have had like a picture in it, like those corners. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, where it put the picture. It holds
Yeah.
the picture in. Yeah.
And then at the very bottom, there are some like dots that almost look like braille, and you can kind of tell them by moving your hand over them. The first set of dots is like 7, and the next one is 0, and then the third one is 5.
That is offensive. No, I don't know what that means. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what's being concealed about this book is
Okay, so we need to find a blind man.
Well, no, it's just. I mean, okay, yeah, that's a conclusion you can draw. The play is in this book, and it's definitely yours.
Cool.
Yeah, so now you have possession of the book. Professor Danvers, she's very confused that you can hold this thing for obvious reasons, and she goes, Wren,
Yeah.
is this yours?
I mean, if the shoe fits.
Do you remember ever having it?
No, I don't remember anything.
Do you remember ever writing in it?
No,
Is this the first time you've encountered one of these?
not one of these, but this one in particular, yes.
What the hell does... Then she glances over to you, Hemlock.
Hi.
Hemlock?
So yeah, we definitely have had a book adventure before.
Twice.
Yeah. Well, we found a book that was attuned to me, similar to this, that had football, scorch ball plays written in it, on top of some text that I could read. I don't remember, unfortunately.
And then she looks at you, Salt, like, do you have a book, Salt?
I sure do.
Do you summon the Grimoire of Shadows?
Yeah.
Okay, you summon up the Grimoire of Shadows. Did you want to investigate the Grimoire?
Sure.
I'm going to just say from context, you would be able to find this out.
Okay.
At the back of the Grimoire of Shadows, like Wren's book and like Hemlock's book, you see that it does have the corners and it does have some dots at the bottom. Yours are 655. So you all have these weird soul paper books. And Danvers see this and she's kind of like floored by it. She's very, very like, it's that thing where it's like, you know, that meme of the guy like looking at the many equations. Mm-hmm. It's that. Mm-hmm. And then she goes, you all possess these books. You're the owners of these books, but you do not remember getting them or possessing them.
Yeah. Nope. Well, we're young though, so
You are young, yes. Young people typically have terrible short-term memories.
Maybe we have old souls.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Might be possible you have old souls. But that is just a metaphor for someone acting mature in a situation that doesn't call for it.
Whoa. Shots fired. Hot
Shots
take.
fired.
Whatever, Bluestone.
Don't make me whip this
No!
thing out. Okay. She goes, Wren,
Yeah.
can you find in the book like what part of the play these two were in? Or are in, I should say.
It looks like they were at a battle, Toad's battle.
That lists as Act 1, Scene 3.
Act 1, Scene 3, it seems.
Well, what's going to happen next? And you actually can't tell.
I can't tell.
No.
No idea.
Yeah.
Little voice told me.
This episode had a lot of exposition in it, but I need to get this fucking train. I need to get this ship righted. Professor Danvers goes and like on the stage, there's like a chair off to the side, and she's kind of like got her hand to her head, and she goes, "Kids, I'm going to be completely honest. I'm at a complete loss as to what's going on with you. However, I do have a feeling that, well, there's a reason why Fizzy has that book, and there's a reason why Fizzy was taken."
Oof, that gives me chills. Do you think Fizzy is where these guys were at? In that?
Very possibly. Danvers, she kind of pulls out her blue crystal.
Oh, God.
She doesn't do anything with it. She kind of like stares at it for a second, almost like she's mesmerized. And then she puts it back into her satchel and she goes,
Shouldn't get high on your own supply.
should not get... Excellent. Excellent advice, Ultimus.
You never heard that before?
Well, no, I've heard it before. I'm just surprised it came from her.
Question, do we tell her about the Spectre Men?
Do you? I don't actually know what you've told Danvers.
Because it seems like there's one of those guys connected to each book. And there was a guy that took Fizz
Based on the book.
based on the book.
Are we the spectral men?
Oh, it's such a good prop.
Did you want to? I know, it's pretty great. And it's just your bad eyesight is the prop.
I know.
Did you want to ask Danvers about it?
I mean, does she know?
I mean, she seems like she's not gonna I feel like
I mean,
keeping stuff
she's
from
on
her is
the-
not necessary because
Yeah,
she's
she's
just
on
like
the level.
she's like team us.
Yeah.
So
I want to tell her.
Yeah, I just so we're clear, I instituted Danvers as sort of like a narrative tool for you guys to get like
I
information.
like her. And I like her.
yeah,
She's
let's
great.
spill the beans.
Yeah, so there's these dudes. Let's call them.
Okay, we don't have to go through all that. When you say you spill the beans to Danvers, what are the things you want to convey?
Just about the spectral
figures
and how it seems that they're connected to
the
each book that
books.
we find. There's always one of those guys running around.
Do you tell her about the holes in your hands?
I feel like she'd want to experiment.
Why don't we hold
Yeah.
off on that one?
That's excellent. You hole off on that one. So you kind of lay out the situation thus far, which is the books are ending up in the hands of certain individuals. Once the book ends up in their hands, it seems like a spectral figure comes with it. And then buck wild stuff happens.
Reality goes a little bit wacky.
The first book that you've encountered like this, that was the book with Gil. And Gil's book, he tried to conduct some kind of ritual at the house party. You guys interrupted it. That was it. The second book was belonging to Coach Theris. Coach Theris was writing plays in it that kind of seemed to conjure something, while at the same time this spectral figure kidnapped the Scorchball team to use their energy to turn Jelson into a giant tree monster, and then also like at the same time use the energy during the Scorchball game to summon a giant rock spider. And now in this third one, we have a spectral figure who got a book to Fizzy and used that book to send Fizzy somewhere while Fizzy was trying to put on like a play. So Professor Danvers takes all this in and she thinks about it for a moment. And then she goes, when you were in that bubble world, did one of you encounter me?
No. Unless you looked very different.
You did.
Shit.
We did.
You
Both of us?
did.
Who was she?
Professor Danvers' first name is Caitlin.
God damn it.
Damn you, Caitlin.
That's why I fucked up so bad.
Oh, okay.
Professor Danvers goes, I did know Talagon. Yes, I told you this. I don't remember sneaking into a camp.
Uh-oh.
I don't think that happened. Not in real life.
Do you remember Talgon making some faux pas on top of a rooftop?
As a matter of fact, no. Talagon was very confident and very, very good at spycraft. This event, this battle, it didn't happen. What? This battle didn't really happen at all.
But that's weird because your mom remembered things
Yeah.
specific to
Yeah.
what was happening inside the bubble.
That's why this is so curious. Kids, I don't...
Write the play.
No, I don't think your mom wrote the play.
She works at DMV.
Yeah.
Kids, I have a feeling that you aren't seeing the past. I think you're seeing the play. I think you're living in the play that this spectral figure gave to Fizzy. It's using Fizzy somehow to make it happen.
He's using his drive and need to succeed
Quite possibly.
to put the play on.
Yes.
Yeah, in a bubble.
You got it.
It's just
Makes
like
perfect sense.
Yeah.
a scorch ball.
That kid just wants to get into the arts so bad.
Hey,
Now he is.
yeah, well, that's a really positive way to look at it, actually.
But
I
if-
really like that.
If Fizzy's the director of the play, then Fizzy might not be in the world, but Fizzy's controlling it somehow?
Intriguing.
Salt, you did hear Fizzy's voice say action in your mind as soon as the battle began.
Cool. I pretend to remember that, yes.
I love this. I love this show. This whole episode is just like, I gotta get this ship right.
So we need to get back into the play, right?
I mean, maybe we have to finish the play to get Fizzy out of it.
I'm gonna have to start acting again. I really didn't
boy.
want to.
Dust off those old chops of yours.
I just want it to be known that I'm very good. That's why I chose to step away. I was almost too good. And
I
there was
believe
an
you.
accident.
Yes. If someone couldn't perform under pressure, then you would be there. Well done. So that's the theory that Danvers has, is you're seeing the play. You're seeing the play from Fizzy's perspective, which is sort of strange because, like, again, Talagon was Hemlock, and Halifax was Caitlin, but you weren't Paladin.
All right.
You're not totally sure why that is. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But you're Fizzy's best friend, so
You are Fizzy's.
he's fine with you just jumping.
You are Fizzy's best friend.
That's true.
Yeah.
And he was very reluctant to make you paladin. I had to convince him not to give you a lead role.
Yeah.
Bastard.
Well,
Indeed so.
We all were there for the reading.
Professor Danvers stands up and basically says, like, I have a feeling if we're going to want to get Fizzy back, you kids are going to have to go back into that bubble.
Whew, I'm getting too old for this shit.
Yeah, 2 weeks to retirement.
Back to the bubble.
We don't have to go today, but
Maybe next Sunday.
maybe next Sunday. That is very possible.
I'm sorry.
And then, Wren,
Yes.
make a perception check.
God damn it, Jojo. You saw
Just
me
one
put 'em
more.
away.
Just one more.
Hot dice. 13. Oop. I ran right into that microphone.
You immediately realize, oh snap.
Oh, snap. I got therapy today.
Oh,
Is that what I remember? Because I did just remember that.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Oh, shit. Okay.
You are late for your appointment with Dr. Helen.
Oh, no.
I got to scram, fellas.